Okay, here with Mangi. Mang's obviously Protea's wicketkeeper. We had a great clinic today. Give us a few thoughts on the important points about wicketkeeping. Firstly, on the hand position and how important the hands are in keeping.
Yeah, I think that's quite important. That's a basic, fingers always have to be pointing down. That's the most important thing. And I think also you got to make your gloves nice and big. Like a lot of the times people get caught up when they also try to catch the ball, close their hands too early. Got to make sure that your hands are nice and big. There's always room between your elbows and your body so that you can have that space, and that to make sure that your hands are right in front of you and fingers are always pointing down, so that when you catch the ball, if your glove is like that, it's very hard to catch the ball because the ball might slide. But if your hand is like that, the ball almost like goes in like that, and you're able to catch. So glove position is quite important, making sure that your fingers are pointing down, shoulders nice and relaxed, hands nice and relaxed. You just make sure the ball comes to you, and also your catching position or your glove area must be nice and big.
Okay, so we can see that from side on, and you can just show that position to the guys and the importance of the hands there.
Yeah, so that's a very, very perfect position, especially standing back. So it's a nice and strong position. From there, I can shuffle, I can move, I can dive, I can go up and stuff like that. So it's a very strong position, making sure that my posture is nice and strong and my weight is slightly forward, and making sure also the most important thing is also like my head is nice and still. My head doesn't get too busy, because if it's too busy, then I might lose track of the ball and stuff like that. So head nice and still, make sure that you're nice and strong in your position, fingers pointing down, and your catching area nice and big.
Okay, so body position obviously key. A lot of guys get into poor positions from the start. How do you normally start standing up and standing back? What is your body position?
Okay, well, standing back for an example, because obviously I'm not like a big guy, so I've just worked on making sure that I'll start here, make sure that my hands are nice and relaxed, and I'll get into a position where I'm here, my hands right in front of me. I never go down. I used to go down quite a bit, but then what I found is that when I was down, I was like that, so I wasn't really watching the ball, so I was actually quite late, so I used to dive quite a bit when I needed to dive. So now I make sure that this is my starting position. As soon as the guy's about to jump, I'm in the nice strong position that we spoke about, hands nice in front of me, and I make sure that I'm in a nice strong position, waist slightly forward, and I'm ready to move. And standing up, I do go down standing up as well, but I just also make sure that I'm also in a nice strong position. My feet always in line with the off stump, and feet obviously nicely aligned. I get down, so also make sure that my chest is slightly up. Obviously you don't want to be like that, because if you can't see, you won't be able to judge the ball. So slightly up, and then make sure this is like a very, very nice strong position, so you can see a little bit of my chest. And then obviously, yeah. So that's important.
Cool. So we can maybe do a couple of drills and a couple of catches now, and you can just show the guys what you're talking about in terms of position and your movements.
Okay, cool. So we start back. I'll take a couple standing back, so I'll make sure that I'm aligned on off stump. Like I said, the ball is about to run in. I'll make sure that I get ready. Yeah, there we go. And I catch the ball, throw it back to him. Catch a couple again. So I always make sure also, even though I'm shuffling, but also make sure that I'm catching. I'm not always like giving myself room, because there's no control there. I always make sure that I'm catching just inside of my hip, and I make sure that everything is aligned. So get ready. You're as good as your hitter. Ready, shoulders relaxed, fingers pointing down. So I make sure that I catch the ball, spend time with the ball. So always make sure that my head and my hands, they always move together, so they're almost like in a relationship. So you don't want to you don't want to find yourself in a position where you're catching and your head is there. That's a terrible position. Even I'm standing up to the wickets as well, my head and my hands always move together. So I'll get into position. If the ball is there, make sure that I'm here, hands right in front of me, catch the ball, then I'll shuffle. Even if I'm standing up, I'm moving here, make sure that everything is happening around me. So if everything is happening around in front of my face and my hands, then there's absolute control. Sorry, I'm out of breath.
No worries.
Yeah, so there's just control. So just make sure that everything, your hands and your head, they're the most important thing. They're always working together.
Okay. And just in terms of maybe one or two drills that guys could do with their coach, or even at home, some one-hand stuff. I know you obviously do a lot of one-hand catching and that. What are one or two drills we could maybe just show the guys that they could practice at home or practice with their coaches?
So yeah, basically this is a cool drill about the glove position, making sure that your fingers are pointing down. It's a cool drill that we do. So Tim's going to throw into my left foot, so my hands together, fingers pointing down. I do that, so make sure that my fingers are always pointing down, so I can catch the ball. You can hear the sound. The sound is nice and clean. Okay, there we go. So there's also still space. You can come from a side view, so you can see there's also like space between my hands and my body and my feet. So always making sure my fingers are pointing down. Just let the ball come to you. So it's a very cool drill. So also if you notice that I'm always moving towards the ball with my head and my hands, you know, so I never leave that behind. So my head is very important. There you go. So there, goes up there a little bit up, so you can open up your head, but also make sure that this is the most important thing. But obviously make sure that there's space, because if you're cramped up, you can't really catch from there, you can't really move, and also like this is too close to there, so there's no control. But here, you know, I can work with my hand, I can work with my body, they're always working together. So I'm always moving with my head and my hands, so they're always working together all the time.
Okay, brilliant. Maybe give us one little point of those keepers, those up-and-coming guys. What does it take to be a great keeper and to play for the Pro Teams?
I think one thing, you obviously have to make a decision. You have to love the job. You know, there's no point in saying that you're a wicketkeeper, but you only train when the coach needs you to train. And then you won't really improve. You know, you need to train by yourself. You need to get someone to, you know, hit your balls. You know, you need to almost go the extra mile. You know, because sometimes you find that coaches get caught up and they're so busy with like a lot of things. You know, they sort of like neglect that sometimes. You know, so get a fitness trainer. A guy like James Falls always used to say that he had to train the batting coach actually to become a wicket-keeping coach. He had to train him like how to hit properly and how to hit exactly where he wanted him to be. So he went to that extent because he wanted to improve his keeping. You know, so you gotta love the job. One of the most important things, you gotta be passionate about the job, and obviously you gotta put in work into your craft. Because if you don't love it, then you'll do it once a week, and you'll get bored. It'll go like a month without training keeping. So you gotta love it, and you gotta be passionate, and yeah, I think those are the most important things.
Brilliant. Monks, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope you've obviously learned a lot, and the guys can learn a lot from you. Thank you.
And Monks, just a quick question for our DJ coaching family. We're going to obviously send them some links of you keeping. So just tell us, what's your, obviously you've taken some screamers in your day. What's been the best catch of your career for yourself?
I've taken a couple, but the best one was last season of KG, T20 game. Because obviously it was my left hand as well, so that's one of my best ones. And I think also I was like a little bit pissed off in that game. So I was actually quite chuffed to take that catch. But yeah, those are the things that I've trained like years before, you know. So, but I always make sure that I cover everything. If it happens, it will happen. But it's just to make sure that when the opportunity comes, then I'm ready to take the catch, you know. And that's wicket-keeping, because you can't really plan for a great catch. But I was just like in the right position, the right frame of mind to actually take that catch, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What's it like catching a ball that comes at 150 k's an hour? I'm sure we're going to get asked that.
Yeah, definitely. I think, man, like for me, what I do a lot is catch a lot of tennis balls. I know it might not make sense, but that helps me to keep my hands calm and my hands relaxed. If your hands are relaxed, then the impact is not as hard, you know, where I think a lot of times people neglect that, you know. And I also train to catch with inners quite a bit, so I can learn to trust my hands and not rely on my gloves so much, and I think that also helps me quite a bit. But for me, the most important thing is making sure that I'm nice and relaxed, my hands are nice and calm, and when I'm nice and calm, I can move, and my hands will be soft, and I can catch the ball properly.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks very much for your time, man.
No,
Appreciate it.
Cheers.